question before we begin. How many people are fed up with the way Wes Moore has run this state? How many people are fed up with how he treats rural Maryland? And how many people are fed up with the way he treats watermen, farmers, hunters, and outfitters? I have good news this morning, though. Help is on the way in the form of Ed Hale. Before we begin, I want to recognize a few people. This Bill of Rights that we've developed, I worked closely with, I know a lot of people worked on it, but closely with 5 or 6 of you all. Jason Seaman, Rob Newberry, Tillman Hensley, I am the proud chairman of the Ed Hale for Governor campaign. I have a question before we begin. How many people are fed up with the way Wes Moore has run this state? How many people are fed up with how he treats rural Maryland? And how many people are fed up with the way he treats watermen, farmers, hunters, and outfitters? I have good news this morning, though. Help is on the way in the form of Ed Hale. Before we begin, I want to recognize a few people. This Bill of Rights that we've developed, I worked closely with, I know a lot of people worked on it, but closely with 5 or 6 of you all. Jason Seaman, Rob Newberry, Tillman Hensley, Ronnie Fithian, Commissioner Fithian, Robert T. Brown, and Marshall Cahall. I thank them from the bottom of my heart for helping me develop this for Ed. There were others that participated in it, but we are very satisfied with this Bill of Rights, and I think it's a statement of policy going forward that Ed Hale is going to have a collaborative relationship with these industries and not something where it's top down and we just pile a bunch of regulations on you. That needs to change. I also want to recognize my hunting club buddies, the Sassafras Hunt Club. They're here. Some of the public officials that are here, Chuck Callahan, Larry Porter, Sherry Wilcoxon's here, Gary Judy, and again, Ronnie Fithian, Commissioner Fithian. Oh, and Catherine Girard and Patty Fallon are here. I couldn't write fast enough. Sorry. Christian McKendrick, who's running for county council's here. Frank Gonzalez, who's also running for county council's here. And Jeff Harrison from the Talbot County Watermen's Association's here. Thank you all for attending. Now I want to introduce my friend. I've gotten to know him real well over the past 9 or 10 months. Just like him, my wife and I were thinking of, we've had enough of this. We're getting ready to leave Maryland. This is just awful what's going on in this state. I met Ed Hale. I knew of him, obviously, from the old bank commercials and such, and I knew we owned the Baltimore Blast, but what I didn't know was that Ed didn't grow up with wealth. He was a blue-collar worker. He worked at the steel mill. He worked at the Baltimore Harbor, and I think and he's a veteran. He served for 2 years in the late 60s in the United States Air Force. On March 15th, 1975, Ed Hale signed the front of what was his first of hundreds of thousands of paychecks. Hundreds of thousands of paychecks. He was the largest employer of the Port of Baltimore at one point in time. He owns a lot of businesses, had trucking companies, owns the Baltimore Blast, still owns the Baltimore Blast. And he was happily retired until he was called upon by some of his friends to say, hey, We have to do something. Ed, can you help us out? Ed stepped forward early, and he's here today. And I'm pleased to announce that my friend will be the next governor of the state of Maryland, Mr. Ed Hale.
Thank you, Clay. Can you hear me okay back there? I really appreciate everybody coming. This is, it's pretty, I see a lot of people I know, people I really have met for the first time. The fact that I'm here doing this is something that's an anathema to me. I don't know about doing politics. I've been backing people all my life, and I've never been out front. I was goose hunting out here, right over my left shoulder here, and I asked a friend of mine, do you not have anyone that can come and make this state right? Because the guy that we have, Wes Moore, who is really not a Marylander, he is really a fake as far as I'm concerned. And I know this is going to be on TV and things like this are going to be said. However, we all know this. He is a guy that has really left everybody behind. So that was in December. March, I get asked, why don't you do it? And I thought about it. Patrick Gonzalez is here. He did a little poll for me, a very expensive poll, I might add. And he did this, and it showed that I was like 16% against 81% Wes Moore. I think that gap is closing. He's done a poll which is going to come out on the 13th. It's 13th, Patrick. Where's Patrick? But anyway, it's going to come out on the 13th. And I don't know what it's going to say because he won't tell me because I didn't pay for the poll. Some other people have. But I believe that it's going to reflect what we're all seeing here. The first thing that I did after March was called by my friend Bob Garrett, some of the farmers here, Greg Gannon, council was here, and there's been a bunch of other farmers that are here from various farm bureaus. They're here with me now. Some from Howard County, Carroll County, Baltimore County. Wes Myers is here from Baltimore County. So I met with a group of them at actually Panera Bread over here in Easton. I said, "What do you think?" And everybody looked at me kind of skeptically. "What do you think? What do you want to do, Ed?" And I said, "Well, I think that we could do better than this, and I'd like to just see what kind of support I could get from you, and also what can I do for you? What's in your heart?" Without any hesitation, it shifted at that point that people thought, man, this guy's going to listen to us. Does he have a shot? I don't know. But at the same time, it was, I think I was accepted at that point a little bit. And it has now morphed into this today. I have the Watermen's Associations behind me. Some outfitters are here, and a whole bunch of hunters are here. I'm a hunter. I'm a Second Amendment guy, 100%, always have been, always will be. This is not a fake thing like, hey, I'm wearing camo here. All my friends are in here. That's all you see me in all in the wintertime. Isn't that right? So it's just the way that I am. I'm a plain speaking person that really wants to get the flavor for what you want. What do you want to hear? Or what do you want from your elected officials? And I can tell you this, everybody is really unheard, neglected. The farmers, the watermen in particular, Rob Newberry's back here. I met him a couple times, and Rob told me, he said he met Wes Moore, and Wes Moore told him, and correct me if I'm wrong, "I'm going to be calling you all the time. You are so great, Rob. You are really a representative of all the watermen, and I'm going to call you whenever I have a question." Subsequently, Rob called him a bunch of times. He's never gotten a return phone call. And I believe that is the effect that we all have here. No one is getting called back. No one. That's going to change if I get in. I recognize that, I have to win the Republican primary. I know that it's going to be a tough task to do that, but I expect to do it. And I don't care who runs. I really, this is the United States of America. I don't care who runs. I'm going to do the best I can and and run a campaign that's going to be forthright and honest. And I'm going to tell all of you, I see some, Patty Fallon's here. Met her a month or two ago. I said, I'm not running for anything else. I'm not running for president. Wes Moore's running for president. He can say that he's not and deflect it and do a lot of speaking. He never says anything. But I guarantee you that he's running for president. They want him to be the president. And I'm going to tell you also, when he was running for governor, I have a bunch of really large contributors to his campaign. And I didn't know who Wes Moore was. I asked them, I said, please tell me who this guy is. I'm a lifelong Marylander. I've been here forever. I'm one of the largest employers that's ever been here. I've done a lot of building and development. Who's Wes Moore? I don't know him. Oh, he's the baby Jesus. He is the greatest. He's handsome. He's articulate. He's got a great education. He's a war hero. He's all this. I said, I can't believe I don't know him. I never even heard of him until he started running. He ran some sort of venture capital fund up in New York or whatever. And I worked up in New York for 27 years. Never heard of him. Never. And I don't know about all of you if you ever heard of him before he ran for governor, but I never did. But he looks good, sounds good, but it's an empty vessel, this guy. And I don't care, he's going to come after me that I'm this and I'm that, and I don't care. Let him do it. I'm one of these people that's unafraid to be, if you want to insult me, insult me. I don't care. I'm going to do the right thing. And I'm going to do it for all of us here. And also, and I'm going to do it for the people not here too. I've been in Montgomery County and various counties, and I've been in the city. I'm going to do it everywhere, and I'm going to do it from the standpoint that you're going to get a straight shot on what is happening here in this state. I will come in and try to right the wrongs that have been done here. We've got a budget that's wrong. We lost our AAA bond rating. We can't do these things. These are, these are wrong. These are things that are financially irresponsible for our state. And he's out campaigning for people in New Jersey, Texas, Virginia. He's every place but here. He's not doing his job here. I don't think he's ever seen many of you, nor you have seen him. I just don't think that's the way that it is. One of the things I did, which was a lot of fun, I went out and met Melvin Bale out in New Windsor about the power lines. Let me tell you something. If Delaware wanted to run a power line from here to power West Virginia and wanted to come through my property, there would be mayhem. I'm telling you, that's a fact. None of you would put up with this. None of you. You're not going to have them do that. It's a giant electric cord that's going to go through their counties, Melvin's farm, and other people's farms to go down to Virginia to power a AI plant. We don't get any benefit for it, but he's doing that. And he says he can't do anything because the Public Service Commission has a responsibility for it. Well, he appointed the Public Service Commission. So these are the types of things that are just not true that we are hearing from him, and it's just not right. I am very much, for getting things straight with, I'm an outdoorsman, always have been an outdoorsman. I go to the Arctic every year, and I've been doing it since I was in my 30s. And I go into the wilderness, and I like it. I like to fish, and I like to hunt. And I like to see like even harvesting here. Fish, crabs, oysters, things that we know what we can do. These guys, the watermen behind me, know what they can do when they need to get their boat fixed, to get oil for their boats, get fishing gear to go out and start marketing their boats for fishing. And they can't do it because we're really uncertain on what it is. This year, I'm a goose hunter. I bought this farm. Paul Garrett and Bob Garrett, man, you're taking up a lot of space here, putting these ponds in to bring geese in. I said, I'm a hunter. That's it. I didn't buy this to be a farmer. I want to farm it, make a little money for it, pays the taxes and a few other odds and ends. And it's always an axe fight getting together with the Garretts too, by the way. So we get together and, I wanted to do this, and the Paris Glendenning cuts out goose hunting as soon as I got here. It was a moratorium. How long? It was like 3-4 years. Yeah, and I'm like, what? So I'm here. I got a farm that I can't goose hunt on. Then we had 45 days hunting last year, 2 geese. This year, 30 days, 1 goose. So you go out here on a rainy day, you go out there, set up your decoys in 5 minutes. There's a whole bunch of guys from Sassafras and other places here. You go out there and shoot 1 goose and it's over. What do you do now? Then if you've driven down from New Jersey and you got a place at the Tidewater Inn and you're going to go to Bodega to eat, you're going to go there and you're going to go home immediately after. There's just nothing for you to do here except for hunt. It sounds, for those of you that are not hunters, you don't really understand it. And Bishop Pierce Scott has his son here, federal game warden. He knows what I'm talking about. Just make it even. Tell us what it is so we can plan. I can plan my life to hunt here. They just summarily did that last year, and there's you're here. You've seen them this morning. There's a lot of geese here, and there's a lot of geese all over the eastern shore. A lot of geese out in western Maryland, but we can't hunt them, and we can only shoot 1 goose. Last week there was a full moon. We didn't shoot a goose, not all week long. Not 1 goose here, and I'm in. This is the goose Disney World here, and not 1 goose. So. We really would like to have an idea of what's going on here. And we also would like to know who is telling us these things. Is it the bureaucrats, the biologists that they say that are in charge? Who are these people? What are they telling us to do and why? And what makes them people that can tell us what to do? The people that are spending the money, making the payrolls and the paychecks, doing the paychecks for their employees, and doing their planning for the farms, the boats and the water and the outfitters, don't know what to do. We don't know what's going to happen. We have already been told that next year, and I don't know if this is true, correct me if I'm wrong, that it's going to be 45 days next year, 2 geese. Now, why? Why is it different this year or going to be next year from this year? I don't get that. For those of you that, I don't know if it's true, do you know if it's true, Chuck? Yeah. So, it's gotten to the point where we don't know what's going on. There's uneven enforcement. And I believe that we have a very, 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 very bloated bureaucracy that's got to be dealt with. In addition to straightening out I'm going to get right into what we have to do for the budget. We have to fix the budget. We don't fix the budget, we're in such deep trouble here because statutorily, constitutionally, we have to do it. We've lost our AAA bond rating. Governor Schaefer, Governor Mandel, all these previous governors, it was sacrosanct to have a AAA bond rating so that if you're going to repair a road, you didn't have to spend as much money for interest on that bond, when they were paying interest on that bond. Now you have to, because we have really lost our way. And we have a person that's really neglected everyone. And, these people ask me, why are you doing this with the hunters and the watermen and the farmers? They're going to vote for you because you're a conservative guy. And I said that, they're going to vote for you. I don't think they've ever been heard. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody ever, you ever done anything like this or seen anything like this? I don't believe so. And I believe that they should be listened to. They'll have a seat at the table if I win. And I'm going to get competent cabinet officers, cabinet secretaries that are going to come in and listen to you. That's not talk, that's it. You're only as good as the people you hire. And I'm not the brightest bulb on the tree, and I admit that, but I like hiring people that could do the jobs, and I'm not afraid to do that. I'm not afraid to hire people that are smarter than me and lead them. I've done that all my life. Made some mistakes, but I've had a lot of successes. And I expect from this point forward that, I win the Republican primary against whomever is going to be in it, then it's going to be a full-on war with me and Wes Moore. I don't care what anybody thinks. We have a microcosm here at my farm with you. of what Maryland is. We need to straighten this out before this spins out of control. Patrick Gonzalez is sitting back here. He's going to announce this poll next week. He won't tell me exactly what the numbers are, but almost a third of the people want to leave. And when asked, would you stay in the state of Maryland? A third of the people want to leave here. A third. That's 2 million people. How do you keep the state going? And I'd like to just end with this. We have a beautiful state, a lot of natural resources. We have the Chesapeake Bay. We have a bunch of things that we need to get squared away with. We need to have a little bit better relationship with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, who will never, ever, ever say, oh, the Chesapeake Bay's A, B. It's in great condition, because they'd be out of a job. We need to have a better working relationship with them and have a little bit of truth. It's something that I hope to bring with all of you. And I can tell you right now, that sign back here, I was doing a speech at Melvin's farm, and somebody asked me, I don't think it was Jessica, asked me, what are you going to do for the state, for the citizens of Maryland? What do you have to say to them? And I said, help is on the way. Help is on the way. Wait, Bill Speckis, thank you for your hat. There's coffee, muffins, and there's some other like meat and stuff in my house. So you're welcome to stay.
Good job, Abe. Good job.